Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today we're going to be rounding up a bunch of news that's happened in the last 24 hours related to Uber-Klaus and Ashes of the Damned, Revelations Cipher Progress, the removal of SBMM in the beta, HUD information, DLC information, and a ton more. So tap in, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get started. The first piece of news comes from It's Perker, who I think noticed this first, which is that in one of Call of Duty's new shorts, they've included a shot of Uber-Klaus inside Ashes. If we watch through it here, it's actually edited in a really cool way, I would say, and just once we get past these creators, you'll see big Uber-Klaus standing in the Janus Plaza area. There's a lot of chaos going on, there's the bear, and here comes Uber-Klaus. Yep, it was very brief, but he is there. So Uber-Klaus is returning from Black Ops 6 Zombies and is going to be a pest in Black Ops 7. Now, the thing that's unusual is that we didn't see any Uber-Klausi in the COD Next footage, so I don't know if they turned him off or if he's for a specific Easter egg step or something else entirely. Maybe leave your theories about that down in the comments down below. Next story. This will contain spoilers for the Black Ops 7 Zombies Easter egg in Ashes, so just straight up, skip 3 minutes into the video if you don't want these spoilers. So I need to give credit to Nanakos and I think Alex as well, sort of combined for this one. Nanakos says zero context on where this plays, and Alex says it's not outro dialogue, so it might be mid Easter egg cutscene type material, but there's a bunch of this that is just available in the game files, and it's actually baffling to me that Treyarch don't work harder to prevent these sorts of things from happening. It feels like it's absolutely a preventable issue if they cared enough to fix it, but they just leave this stuff in the beta. Like, I don't know, it's confusing to me, but we're gonna run through it now. There's quite a lot of words here, so bear with me. It says, the Sentinel artifact. Damn you, Richterfun. Speak for yourself. We do this all the damn time. You're alive. I did not hope. I could not. Do not be alarmed. Quickly, he will feel my absence. You must listen. Each of you have been touched by a great power. Something has left its mark on your beings. The warden of this place sensed it, sought you out, tore you from your dimensions, and drained you to take that essence for himself. While he has those parts of your souls, he has dominion over you. You cannot fight him any more than you can hope to return to your own worlds. To even try would be suicide, but for all of our sakes, he must be destroyed. There are others here, ancient denizens of the Dark Ether, shadow smiths. They too are bound to his will, augmenting his power. He forced them to harvest your essence, to refine it into the colostrum that sustains him. These beings cannot be killed, but destroy their bonds? Free them from his control? Then they will return what they were made to steal. Find where the one that watches this place is imprisoned. I cannot act against him directly, but I can guide your hands. Go now. Now, straight off the bat, if this is indeed something we're going to hear during the Easter egg, it sounds like cinema. It actually sounds so juicy. It sounds like a fun premise. I will say it also, to some extent, sounds like the BO3 story, where it's like, okay, we're going to do a map per character, and it's all about their souls. Like, seems like we're going in that direction again, but honestly, BO3's story was peak, so if they iterate on that and put their own new twist on it, which it seems like they're doing, and they write some mystery into the damn story, and they also don't lean in the direction of Vanguard trash zombies, that would be amazing. Like, if we can get a zombie storyline this year that feels like it's built on the best parts of Cold War and BO6, and like, that's it, I'll be a very happy man. If they start involving some of the BS from those games, I will not be a very happy man, but I'm crossing my fingers, man, because, I mean, you have to be an optimist with this stuff, or it gets very depressing very quickly. Now, I'm not going to run through the rest of this that's on screen right now. You can read it if you like, but if there's more information that comes out about this, then I'll keep you guys informed, so make sure you're subbed so that you are aware of that. And also, just sort of a note on the fact that this is in the game in the first place. Like, this has already been all over my stream chat. It was in my stream chat so much yesterday. I've seen it on Twitter a bunch of times now. I've seen people talking about the lore implications of it. So, while I know that, like, ultimately it would be best for this sort of thing to just be something that we organically discover, if it's in the game files, people like Nanakos are just going to find it every time. Like, these people are not, like, bad at what they do, right? Like, they do this every single release, and they're very consistent. And Treyarch knows that. So I feel like there's some responsibility there for them to try you know, just like to try. And that would prevent this from getting out early. I mean, if they can do it in other areas, right? Like if they can prevent other leaks, then why not these? Why does this happen so often? Next, I want to let you guys know about a glitch that you can use in Van Dorn Farm Survival to just get salvage more easily and also potentially get a free, kind of guaranteed ray gun. So what you're going to do is, you see on my gun here, how it's got a 3-bullet fire mode, which means automatic, and then a 1-bullet fire mode, which means single fire. The alt fire on this weapon means that I can do this glitch. If I don't have an alt fire, I can't do the glitch. So get a weapon with alt fire. Doesn't need to be Pack-a-Punch, doesn't need to be certain rarity, it's all good. Bring that to Chompy and throw it into Chompy, but do so only with its alt fire enabled. So I'm not going to throw in the weapon while it's on full auto, I'm going to throw it in on single fire. What that's going to do is it's going to give you the reward from Chompy, but it isn't going to consume the weapon. So you can just repeatedly throw the weapon into Chompy without losing a gun or losing a lethal every single time, and do this every single round apart from special rounds, and then you'll end up with maximal Chompy stacks, and you'll eventually get yourself that free ray gun, and you'll have a bajillion salvage as well. This will undoubtedly get patched within the next 24 hours, so use it or lose it. Next, I saw some conversation in my comment section and my stream chat about the fact that during the COD pod here, which I'll react to in a separate video, Nolan North confirmed that Brutus is the announcer. I just want to kind of unpack that a little bit. I haven't listened to the full COD pod just yet. I've listened to a good chunk of it, but I think people are getting that from this section of the pod here, where he talks about the characters that he has voiced. And I think that people are mistaking the fact that he says he voiced Brutus for the fact that Brutus is also in Black Ops 7 and is the announcer. I didn't get that impression from the clip. If you guys disagree, please let me know here, because like I said, there are some elements of the COD pod that I haven't fully listened to just yet. I'll be doing that later. But I don't think that Brutus is the announcer. That said, I do think that Brutus sounds a lot like the announcer. And I also think that Nolan does in the COD pod say that he's still in the process of recording more lines for the game. So there's always a chance. You never know. But yeah, I think that the one-to-one direct link that people made between what he said in that particular second and the announcer of BO7 was maybe a misconstruing of the actual point he was trying to make. Next, let's talk Revelations Cipher Progress. Skite in it has made a fantastic video on this. I really cannot stress this enough. It's a brilliant video recapping the story so far. It talks about why these Revelation ciphers have not been solved for all these years. It talks about some of the efforts that have been made along the way to try and solve them. And it also gives an update as to what folks like Rich Killer and folks like Randomizer especially have been doing recently to make some progress. It sounds really promising. To solve a Revelation cipher in 2025 would be very exciting. And crucially, I want to be very clear, and Sky actually made the same point in his video just here. Like, if you are trying to use ChatGPT to solve the ciphers, please just stop. I'm saying this as respectfully as I can. It's not going to work. It is just not going to work. And we've had so many fake emergencies over the years because people have been like, oh, I solved the cipher. And then it's actually some garbage from ChatGPT, and it's nonsense. It's just not real, but they don't know enough about ciphers to be able to distinguish what ChatGPT is doing when it's actually doing real, cipher solving methods, or when it's going completely off the rails and hallucinating. AI hallucinates all the time, like by design, and if you're trying to solve ciphers with information that it doesn't have access to, it's gonna start hallucinating very quickly. So let's stay away from ChatGPT. Let's keep pushing with what Randomizer and all the other folks that Randomizer is working with, like Rich Killer. I'm sure Water KH is in there as well. Shout out to you, Water. Like, that whole gang have been hard at work on these for so long, and it's that line of thinking that is going to push this over the line to an actual solve. So very, very exciting, actually. I was skeptical at first, but I watched Sky's video and I was like, damn, Sky cooked here, Randomizer's cooked here. This is promising. Next, this is a leak from Alex, as you can see, and he says, I recognize this HUD. You guys probably saw, I think Dalek made a video about this yesterday, so I'm a little late on this one. But yes, it does appear that we're going to be getting classic HUDs in the themes option for Black Ops 7. They're just not in the beta. So a lot of people's complaints about the fact that the HUD in the beta looks so ass are going to be hopefully restored by the fact that we might be getting a vintage HUD of some kind. It says this is the vintage theme. And yeah, I mean, we all recognize that, right? So that's promising. I think that in an ideal world, rather than just getting old HUDs only, we would get a HUD that is custom to each map. But at the end of the day, when we've had generic HUDs for so long, I will take the vintage themes first. That's absolutely fine. And then we can work out the custom HUDs for each map maybe a little later down the line. But yes, this is a step in a promising direction. Shout out to Alex for letting people know about this. And there's some more information about it as well, but this is the general gist. Next, from a different leaker, Ghost of Hope says, I've heard there may be a zombies-themed season for Black Ops 7. I think that it would be awesome with the caveat that they actually need to release stuff that the zombies community wants, rather than being like, it's a zombies-themed season, so here's red light, green light from Squid Game. That's not going to cut it. But if you give us some stuff that we actually care about and want, cinema. Like actual cinema. So I don't want to overexcite people here by saying like, this is going to be the best thing in the world. But I also don't want to be completely negative and say like, this will be trash. It could be good. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm excited by the fact that it's at least in consideration. Next, the rumors continue to swirl about which of the leaked DLC maps are going to be the first DLC map for Black Ops 7 Zombies, but I think that more and more I've seen people gravitating towards the idea that it's going to be the New York map where the Germans won in World War II and they dropped a nuke on New York. Marguerite's also been doing things like just theorizing about this, but I've also seen folks like Ghost of Hope maybe hinting in that direction, but I think it's still speculative for now. I don't think anyone, at least that I've seen, has outright confirmed it, but that may well be our main map coming in DLC1 in Season 1, and we'll then also get 2 survival maps alongside, which presumably one will be from Ashes and one will be from DLC1, maybe? I know that when I was at Treyarch a few months ago, they said that we wouldn't be getting survival maps of all of the Ashes POIs, and we wouldn't be getting survival maps from Ashes all year. So at some point, they're going to have to move on. So it makes sense to me that they're going to front load an Ashes survival map immediately with the launch of the game, and that's Farm. Then they're going to release one in Season 1, and then maybe we get no more Ashes after that point. Maybe. Next, this is massive news. For the first time, I think in several years, Call of Duty has not only acknowledged that SBMM might be a problem in its games, but they're actually reducing the SBMM. So in the new playlist released today, Open Mosh Pit for the Black Ops 7 beta, they are drastically reducing the skill-based matchmaking, and they're making it so that it feels like classic matchmaking where skill is considered much less. And the multiplayer community and just general COD community have been praising this very heavily. So Modern Warzone has said, for example, it's been 5 years of complaining about this. They openly tested it in Modern Warfare 2 and told us it's staying, and they lost more players to turning it off in Modern Warfare 2. And now they're experimenting with drastically reducing it because they have competition with Battlefield. We need more competition. So he's directly praising Battlefield for being the instigator here. And I've seen other creators doing the same. Tactical Brit covers a lot of Call of Duty and Battlefield and says, I want to applaud the reduction of SBMM and the cancelling of carry forward cosmetics, but I just can't, bro. COD literally don't do anything unless there's a proverbial gun to their head. Between the Bloomberg reports and now Battlefield 6, it's only now they're trying to be proactive. I applaud the attempt, but why did it take this long? COD's crash out or downturn, if you will, isn't because of content and never has been. It's because they neglected their audience who time and time again said the core functionality of the game does not work or does not promote fun. I really hope they start putting ears to the ground again. And honestly, I think that you could say the same thing about the zombies community, where over the last several years, there's been so many people so vocal about the fact that they don't like the armor system, they don't like the point system, they don't like modern zombies. And it feels like it's only now that Treyarch is maybe starting to pay heed to those voices, and that's maybe where cursed mode has come from. So again, it remains to be seen how it's going to go, right? Like it's early days, and at the end of the day, like it's an attempt, but it isn't a success just yet. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm hoping and praying that it does go well and we can start moving the game back towards a direction that the masses and the people feel is more in line with what would make for the best possible Call of Duty experience. We've strayed from that path for so long, bro. Next, I'm working on a full video about this, but I really did not enjoy the Black Ops 7 Zombies beta on its first day. And I kind of broke this down into 3 buckets for why it just didn't feel like it was resonating with me. One was that the guns feel so bad and they can't kill anything. 2 is that when you can't kill anything, you can't earn enough points. And so you're restricted into some really awkward, unfun playstyles. Like, for example, if you run out of points on round 40, you just have to tomahawk for like 20 minutes to earn points, and it sucks. It's just boring, and it's awkward, and it doesn't feel good. And then the bear also, especially when you are starved of points and starved of upgrades, and the guns don't even do that much in the first place, and when you're not getting the ray gun out of the box, like I was not getting the ray gun even past 50 plus, and I died on 69, then the bear is just a terrible enemy to fight. It's so annoying. And while I like the idea of an elite that actually poses a challenge, unlike an abomination, which sort of does nothing, I want that challenge to be something that promotes fun gameplay rather than just making me annoyed. And right now I just feel a bit annoyed by it. It's just like, oh, tick damage from the bees and bleed damage from the claw, and it's not showing its tummy, and I broke its weak points, and I still need to dump 5 mags into it in order to kill it. This is frustrating. So on the one hand, part of me is like, oh, I really want them to like make some patches to tune the game to be better and to iron out these issues and to fix the point system and stuff. But on the other hand, it's also weird because we're playing the game without augments right now, and augments are going to make it feel so completely different that it almost feels like the beta is not actually giving them valuable data to work with in terms of balancing, etc., because it's data for a game that we're not going to be playing at launch. Like, at launch, we'll be playing with augments, and the balance is going to drastically differ. So I'm a bit confused as to what the approach is here, or why we're kind of going about it this way. And just because of that, I was like, well, I can only evaluate it based on what I'm playing in the moment. And what I'm playing in the moment is a Black Ops 6 that has a worse feeling point system somehow, and overall a power curve that just doesn't really promote particularly fun gameplay, in my opinion, unless you do get the wonder weapon out of the box, in which case, yeah, you just ray gun and trap strat and you just play for however long. And you can hoard more, which is good, but again, if you don't get that ray gun, you're kind of screwed because the guns are so weak. So we'll see if they make any tweaks in the next 48 hours while the Zombies beta is still active, but I'll obviously be keeping close tabs on this, and I'll make a full dedicated video with my thoughts very soon. For now though, let me know if you agree in the comments section down below, or if you disagree with my take. Maybe you're having an amazing time. I would love that for you. I want this game to succeed so badly, so the more people that love it is music to my ears, even if right now I'm not having the best time in the world. All that said, I've been MrRoflWaffles, this has been your news update, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.